Hi, and welcome to today's flow session. As some of you might have seen in my social media content, I talk a lot about the right way to breathe or the right way to breathe and how we have an epidemic going on because people are actually overbreathing. Almost up to 80% of the whole population is breathing either too fast, too shallow, and it's a real problem which we are not addressing. So you need to understand that is why I put so much emphasis, and also within the flow community, we're always putting so much emphasis on the correct breathing and conscious breathing. And since we're going to be doing a lot of breathing in these flow sessions, it is only right that we first need to do a check of how actually we are breathing and where do we stand, to do some kind of body check or breathe check. And then I'm going to also demonstrate the correct breathing technique, which we use within the flow community, which is called pursed lip breathing. And we are going to go very easy today, and we are going to have a light meditation for the intention to the flow. So without further ado, I'm gonna share a screen with you where we are going to have body oxygen check. And you need to understand these will only make you understand where on the spectrum are you. And it does not mean that, like it's just, that's the current situation, current status. And you are going to be able then to compare after a couple of flow sessions and, mindful breathing, conscious breathing, how you progressed. So let me share screen, share sound. And I'm gonna put it like this. So just follow the instructions in the video and let's start.
35.
I'm sorry, I will need to go again because I didn't go from the start. Okay, let's try again.
Body oxygen check. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Normal inhale. Passive exhale. Hold breath. 5. 10. 15. 20. 25. 30. 35. 40. 45. 50. 55. 60. Body oxygen check completed.
There you go. Now you know. I think some of you might be a little bit disappointed or shocked. Some of you might be pleasantly surprised, but this is just for you to know and to assess where you stand. And let's take it as a starting point for you. So in every session, we will do the body oxygen check, and you will see that there will be progress. Of course, it's not going to happen from today to tomorrow, and it will also depend on how you will implement the breathing techniques daily in your life. So this is something that you need to take responsibility for. Of course, these weekly sessions are intended exactly for that, to help you keep the motivation running and to establish some kind of regular reminder, if you will, but it is just once per week. So the rest of the days, it's up to you. But I am very much convinced and positive that you will manage to implement it as well when I am not around or the group is not around. So don't worry about that. Let's go now and learn how to breathe correctly. As I mentioned before, we have this technique that's called pursed lip breathing. Pursed lip breathing, short PLB. There's also a short video, a couple of minutes, so try to follow it. But the main instructions will be basically to inhale through your nose and then to exhale through your mouth with lips put like this. Just imagine that you have a straw between your teeth. And let's try it, and then we will also implement it further into the session.
Are done. Pursed lip breathing technique with prolonged exhalation. We inhale through our nose fully. We watch that our shoulders stay down. When we exhale, we imagine that we exhale through a straw. So our lips are pursed. And when we exhale, we do it slowly and fully. So our chest is lowering down to our hips. Once again, when we inhale through the nose. We inhale fully, so our chest opens in all directions, our shoulders are down. And when we exhale, we try to imagine that we exhale through the straw, so our lips are pursed and our cheeks are relaxed and jaw is not squeezed together. By inhalation, we can watch also how our diaphragm is lowering down in our abdominal area, and that's why we can have one arm in this area, and when we inhale, like Maya did now, we can see that lower part is a little bit squeezed in, but upper part is going a little bit out, and then with exhale, we can see how first this part is going in and our whole chest is lowering down. When we exhale, we can see how much air is going out from our mouth by placing one hand in front of it. And for example, when we inhale and exhale on 4-4 breathing rhythm, we can see that we exhale much more powerful, so more air is going out to our palm. And we always exhale as much as we can. Then of course when we inhale and exhale on 4-8 breathing pattern, you see that the flow of the air is slower and also lighter pressure on your hand. And of course, when we go on 4-12 breathing rhythm, The flow is even slower and the pressure of air on your hand is really, really light.
There you go. I don't think that was too hard to understand, but it is very important to keep that in mind. So whenever you remember, oh, how am I breathing? Let me check. Just try to implement this technique. But with time, it's going to be completely natural for you that you will be breathing that way. But if there's anything that you will take away from today's flow session is always try to breathe through your nose as much as you can, because contrary to popular belief, we don't actually need as much oxygen as we think we need through that we get through our breathing. Because in reality, our cells, body cells, are saturated with oxygen between 95 to 99% already. So a lot of people think that we need to breathe in order to get oxygen, to deliver the oxygen to our body, which is true up to some part, but this is not where we get the most of the oxygen. So what is happening during the breathing process is when we are inhaling, yes, we are delivering oxygen, but more important part is that when the oxygen turns into the carbon dioxide, which we know that happens during our breathing, it is actually carbon dioxide that is reacting, or as we say, like metabolizing the oxygen. So basically, if there is no carbon dioxide, then the oxygen cannot be released from the cells. This is the trigger that releases the oxygen from the cells. So what we are doing is, when we are bringing oxygen in through our breathing process, we need to make sure that we are not exhaling too much of that oxygen, because otherwise the metabolysis will not happen and the oxygen will stay captured, so to speak, in our body cells. So this kind of understanding is maybe a little bit more complicated or scientific, but it is very crucial that you understand that with breathing, you are not actually getting most of the oxygen to your body. So it's very common, for example, when you are doing sports, either professionally or as a hobby, or specifically when athletes are training, what you are doing is actually increasing your tolerance to the carbon dioxide, which is more important than how much oxygen are you delivering by breathing. So by inhaling through your nose, you are doing also other processes, which I'm going to explain a little bit later. But when you are exhaling, it is also important that you're not exhaling too much, because you are losing carbon dioxide that is actually then helping you to release the oxygen. So the more successful you want to be as a performance athlete, for example, the crucial skill or the crucial capacity that you need to have is how high is your tolerance to carbon dioxide. Yeah. So basically, when we were doing the body oxygen check at the beginning, you could see how many seconds were you able to hold your breath without inhaling oxygen. And this is your basically carbon dioxide tolerance. And the longer it is, the higher the tolerance, meaning that the better process or the more quality of process in this metabolizing is happening in your body. So this is actually what we want to achieve with doing all these breathing techniques and like everything we do basically in the flow code community. So I hope I know that maybe sometimes you need a little bit of time to wrap your head around it, but yeah, it is very interesting how the society, or yeah, the society is is having bits of information, but they don't know how to put them together, or what is the meaning behind them. So I hope with this understanding you will also manage to understand why we are putting so much emphasis on the breathing. So as I mentioned also before, inhaling through your nose. Why is it so important? Because in your nose, a lot of processes happen that wouldn't happen otherwise if you would be inhaling through your mouth. They are completely two different mini universes, if you want. So when you are inhaling through your nose, first thing that happens is your nose acts like as a filter, which then, of course, we know if you live in the city, the quality of air is most probably not very high, depending, of course, where you live. But it helps. Our body is like a super machine, and it always like fascinates me. But basically, your nose filtrates a lot of bad stuff from the air that you would otherwise inhale if you would be inhaling through your mouth. This is the first thing. Then secondly, it's winter time at the moment, so the temperature of air outside that you are inhaling, if you're outside, is very much lower than your body's temperature, which is usually between 36, 37. So your body needs to kind of regulate that temperature, and this is what happens when you inhale through your nose, is that your nose, or like the cavity of your nose, will increase the temperature of the inhaled air, so much so that when it will come down to your lungs, it will be on at least 30 or 30 something degrees. Because otherwise, if you would be inhaling, I don't know, 0 degrees or a little bit over, it would be too much of a shock for your body. So this is another thing. Then there are also some biochemical processes happening when you are inhaling through the nose. I'm not going to go so much into those details because it's already like a lot of information, but there are certain chemicals being produced which are helping also the whole breathing and also contribute to your health but only when you are inhaling through your nose. So don't underestimate the power of breath through your nose. This is just what I want to really, really emphasize. Okay, so let's go and do the intention to the flow, which is something that I want to implement on a regular basis, what we are going to do here, because obviously we want to become flow personality. So those of you who were on the previous flow session already know it, but just get used to it, get familiar with it, and follow it. Relax. Remember to breathe consciously. Remember to also breathe through your nose and then exhale through your either nose or mouth, and just go with the flow.
Intention to the Flow Meditation number 1. Get into a comfortable position and close your eyes. Listen to my voice that flows by as a breeze, making you feel more relaxed and calm with each word you hear. Take in a really slow and deep breath, holding it at the top for as long as you can, and then letting the air escape freely. Breathe in and out. trying too hard to change your breath. Just let it be relaxed and comfortable. Breathe in and out. Inhaling peace and exhaling relaxation. Breathe in and out. Inhale peacefulness and exhale relaxation. Continue breathing as you do. You will notice how all other things that are going on around you don't seem to matter at all when you focus fully on your breathing. Focus again on your breath. Notice the quality of it. Is it slow and shallow, or is it deep and profound? Inhale deeply and exhale just once, feeling the wave of relaxation again. Now, use your imagination and visualize a set of stairs descending in front of you. You are at the top of the staircase, looking down, and when you begin to walk down these steps, you will be so very deeply relaxed that the words I say to you will go deeply into your mind, allowing you to have extreme focus whenever you need to. Begin walking down the stairs, and as you go, you are getting more and more into the flow. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, stepping down, 5, closer to focus, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you step off the last step, you step into white sand. It's warm and soft under your feet. Just feel the sensations in your feet on the sand. Now look up, and all you see is more sand in front of you. But you can hear the ocean. Walk towards the sound of the ocean. As you're walking, you can feel the sun on your skin, a feeling of a warm, gentle breeze. You notice the smell of the salty air. And as you're looking around, you see the ocean peek over the sand dune. You're walking towards the ocean now, and you get to the shore, where the ocean meets the sand, and you see little waves coming up and down, up and down. And as the waves come and go, you see things in the sand like shells, pieces of seaweed, your own footprints. And you see a little piece of driftwood that's the perfect size for writing in the sand. Pick up this driftwood. Now draw the word flow into the sand. Write out each letter, noticing the sound it makes as you scratch it through the sand. Good. Now step back and look at it and feel it. Imagine warm, fuzzy feelings of joy and the confidence the word brings. Now continue walking along your beach, noticing the surroundings. The sound you hear. Seabirds flying over. Warm wind gently blowing. You can feel the warm sun on your skin. The feel of the sand beneath your feet. It feels nice and soft. You can even notice the smell of the ocean. Take a moment and look out into the ocean. Watch the horizon and how the ocean meets the sky. This is the most beautiful scene you've ever witnessed. As you gaze along the big blue, you feel as one. One with the waves, one with the sky, one with the space around you. Everything flows. You flow with it, together as one. Now slowly come back. I will count up from 5 to 1. And with each number I say, you will be more alert and ready to flow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay in this feeling for a few moments and open your eyes when you're ready.
What I want you to do now is just notice how was your mind? What were your thoughts? Did you have any thoughts while meditating? And what were they? Don't judge them. I just want you to be conscious of them. And it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong how this should be done. But I want you to say that it's okay. Whatever kind of experience I had, it's okay, because that's the experience. Maybe you were super relaxed and you enjoyed it because it's exactly what you needed in this moment. Maybe your day was a little bit stressed today, so that's why you are still in this kind of mindset and you were anxious, nervous. You were, counting down the minutes. Oh, this is taking so long. I don't want to be here. Why did I come? All these thoughts are okay. If they come, they are just there. Don't judge them. So just try to process for a couple of seconds that anything that happens, we are just here for the experience. This is what really helps me to get into the right headspace when I say, this is the experience that I have and I appreciate it. Because from every experience, you will get something. You will get either learning nugget, you will get a moment of feeling good, you will get an aha moment perhaps. And what this flow trigger does is it accustoms you that you are prepared for whenever in any kind of situation that you are in some random moments, that you know that there is a place or that there is a feeling that you can have because you know that feeling. It's called flow. And you are regularly practicing it. Even if not every flow session you will feel it, but you will have this memory of it, right? Because each time, the more times that you will spend here on the flow sessions or alone doing these kind of exercises, the more embedded it will become within you. And you will already have like these neuron connections between your neurons, and it will be something familiar, because for human beings, it's a very typical human nature that something that is unknown, it's either scary or it's exciting, but we are much prone to be comfortable with something that is known. So basically what we are doing with these exercises is priming our brain for the feeling of flow. And this is all there is to it. We are just doing it in a group. But even when you're alone, you will remember, oh, okay, yeah, I remember. This is how flow feels. So I am able to recreate this feeling. And this is what I want to convey on these sessions, that any situation can be an opportunity for you to get into the flow. In the future, in other flow sessions, we will also talk a little bit about the neuroscience and also the biochemistry that happens in your brains while we are in different mental states. But I think for the day, the most important thing that I wanted to focus is breathing. And just take away from this flow session the state of your breath that we did at the beginning with the check, and give yourself or allow yourself this gift of, I want to expand, I want to become more relaxed with my breathing, more conscious with my breathing, because now I know where I stand, and also I have the tool of how to improve, let's say, my carbon dioxide tolerance. And now I also know why that is actually important. So I will finish for today, but I want you to remember that for this week until our next session, focus on your breath. Any time of the day. For me, it's the easiest way, if I may suggest. You can put an alarm every couple of hours, even every hour if you want to, at the beginning, to remind you to check in on yourself. This is literally what I'm doing. To check how am I feeling, what is my state of mind, and also how am I breathing. Because you will see that this changes throughout the day, which is logical. Your life is not a straight line. Your life is full of events, full of experiences that, of course, affect your brain, affect your state of mind, emotional state. So when you're regularly checking on it, you are also becoming more conscious about the dynamics of how you're reacting to certain situations, people, things, and also you can start regulating it in order for you to be improving your overall experience of life, which is the ultimate goal, to feel better in general, right? So thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for allowing yourself the time to be here, to be present. It's not for me, it's for you. You are here because of you, and you deserve it. Okay, see you next week.